All right, let's be real. If you've been feeling even a little bit of anxiety about your career, with everything happening with AI, you are definitely not alone. It feels like there's this constant pressure, right, to learn the next big thing, the right thing to stay ahead. But what if the entire way we're thinking about this is wrong? What if we've been asking the completely wrong question?
You know the question I'm talking about. It's on everyone's mind. That desperate search for what? That one skill, that one coding language, that one magic certification that's going to be our shield, right? The thing that keeps us valuable and safe from automation? Well, here's the hard truth. That's the wrong question. Plain and simple. The hunt for one single quote-unquote safe skill, it's a total trap. And really getting why it's a trap, that's the first real step to building relevance that actually lasts.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to break this all down. First, we'll tackle the wrong question. Then, we'll get into why the old playbook is obsolete. After that, we'll build a new model, the 4 layers of relevance. We'll turn that into your new study strategy, look at what happens when AI meets the real world, and we'll wrap it all up with a clear call to action.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1. So why is this hunt for that one safe skill so flawed?
It's because AI isn't just another app. It's not a new version of Photoshop you can just master. Think of it more like we've discovered a new layer of physics. It's a fundamental change to the operating system of our world. And when the rules of the game change that much, the winners aren't the people who memorize the old playbook. No way. The winners are the ones who can adapt, on the fly, in real time.
Okay, so if the rules have changed, what does that do to the old playbook? Well, it pretty much shatters the deal, the contract we all thought we had between learning a skill and having a secure career. I mean, for decades, you knew the deal, right? You'd invest a few years mastering a technical skill, and that bought you security for a good long while. That deal? It is completely off the table now. Your advantage decays, literally, in real time. The half-life of a technical skill is just collapsing. What's cutting edge today could be totally commoditized by tomorrow or next week.
And look, this isn't just a technical thing. It's an emotional one too. You know that comfort, that feeling of safety you used to get from really mastering a tool, like a specific software or a coding stack? Yeah, that comfort is gone. And if you're feeling that anxiety, that little pit in your stomach, it's because you're not crazy. You're just picking up on this massive shift.
So if you're still trying to study like it's, 2012, just stacking up certifications and cramming acronyms onto your resume, you're basically going into battle wearing armor made of paper. I mean, it looks like protection, but it's going to fall apart the second it faces any real pressure. So if that paper armor is useless, what's the alternative? We need a new kind of protection, right? Something durable, something that can adapt. And this is where we make the big pivot. The focus has to shift from what you study to who you become. We're talking about moving away from a checklist of skills that expire and toward building a durable stack of capabilities.
And this new model for being relevant, it has 4 layers. Think of them as being built one right on top of the other. You've got domain mastery, the fundamentals, the skill of asking, and resilience. Let's break down exactly what each of those means. Okay, layer 1, domain mastery. Here's the paradox. AI makes general knowledge incredibly cheap, almost free. And because of that, deep, specialized knowledge in a real-world field becomes way more valuable. Think about it. Imagine a geologist using AI to sift through seismic data. The AI can process terabytes of information in a second, sure, but only the geologists with their deep domain mastery can look at a weird pattern and say, is that a real anomaly or is that just a glitchy sensor? That's judgment. And your goal is to go so deep into your field that your judgment becomes the rare, irreplaceable thing. All right, on top of that, we have layer 2, the fundamentals. These are the principles that are timeless. They just don't expire the way software tools do. We're talking about things like foundational math, systems thinking, physics, just clear communication. The rule of thumb here is simple. Don't just learn the interface. You've got to study the engine underneath. Why does that matter? Well, something like systems thinking lets you map out the entire complex problem you're trying to solve. That way, when you tell an AI what to do, you know it's working on the real problem, not just patching up a simple.
Next up is layer 3, and this one is huge, the skill of asking. In the old world, the person with the answers had all the power. But today, answers are cheap. They're literally everywhere. The real value, the economic power, has completely shifted. Now, the advantage belongs to the person who can really dig into a problem and formulate the right questions, the questions that unlock those valuable answers.
And that brings us to the 4th and final layer, resilience.
Now, let me be super clear. This is not about some cheesy motivational poster. This is a hardcore technical capability. Think about it. As AI automates all the easy, straightforward stuff, what's left for us humans? It's the messy, ambiguous, high-stakes work. Resilience is your personal operating system for that world. It's the ability to be wrong, to fail, to learn the lesson from that failure and pivot, all without losing speed or getting dramatic about it.
Okay, so that's the framework. It's a nice idea, but how do you actually do it? Let's make this super concrete. We're going to talk about 4 shifts you can make and how you learn, like starting right now.
First up, shift your identity. Stop calling yourself a job title, which is static. Start thinking of yourself as a problem solver, which is dynamic. Second, build proof. Forget just collecting certificates. Focus on real projects that get real results. That's how you prove your judgment. Third, change your perspective. Don't just study subjects in a vacuum. Study entire systems so you can see how all the pieces connect. And finally, number 4, collaborate differently. Learn to work in flexible networks, not rigid hierarchies. That's where the real speed and innovation comes from these days.
Which, of course, brings us to the elephant in the room, the one question everybody really wants to know. With all of this going on, do you still need to learn to code?
And the answer is, well, it's nuanced. It's a yes, but. See, in the old world, your value came from knowing the specific syntax of a programming language. In this new world, where you can literally just talk to the computer, your value isn't the syntax anymore. Your value is understanding the structure. It's knowing how to lay out a problem logically, how to define the constraints, and how to look at the output and know if it's actually good. That's the new coding.
All right, let's raise the stakes a little. Because so far we've been talking about AI mostly in the digital world, on our screens. But the next massive wave is what happens when AI leaves the screen and enters the physical world.
And this really says it all, doesn't it? In the software world, the world of bits, a bug is, well, it's an inconvenience. You push out a patch. But in the physical world, the world of atoms, we're talking robotics, self-driving cars, healthcare, a bug isn't an inconvenience. A bug can hurt somebody. And that means that real-world judgment, a deep understanding of physics and constraints, is about to become incredibly valuable.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've taken apart the old way of thinking and we've built a new framework. And the feeling you should have right now isn't panic. It shouldn't be panic. It should be a sense of urgency.
Because here's the flip side, the incredible opportunity that I think most people are missing. This whole AI shift isn't just a threat. It is a moment of absolutely unprecedented leverage. You, right now, have access to tools that basically compress time. You can do things in a week that used to take a whole team a month. The winner in this new era isn't going to be the person with the most raw intelligence. It's going to be the person who figures out how to use this leverage most effectively.
So I want to leave you with one final challenging thought. Think about it. The new factories of our time, they don't produce cars or steel. They produce intelligence. And it's becoming a commodity, cheap, abundant, everywhere. In a world like that, asking what should I study is completely irrelevant. The only question that matters, the question you have to ask yourself, is this. If intelligence is becoming abundant, what will you do that's worthy of it?